Live from our studios here at Kukumlemle in Accra, this is Joe News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. Our lead stories this are crisis in Ghana's public health facilities as a strike by the Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union paralyzes healthcare delivery, with pregnant women, sick children and persons with emergency cases left stranded at hospitals across the country.
I'm here to take a lab, but I hear that the lab technicians or the central lab is closed. They are on strike. I'm pregnant and I'm tired. The walking, sitting in the car, the movement here and there is very difficult to reach.
Also, Supreme Court perpetually bars well-known personalities from promoting alcoholic drinks.
We'll continue to encourage the youth to rather depend on some other things that would, whatever they want to do, without depending on alcohol. Let me quickly add that we are not denying our celebrities a means of income.
Well, stay for details. As the FDA says, the ruling will encourage them to widen their scope and cut back on the volume of alcohol on the Ghanaian market. Also tonight, Energy Minister Matthew Poku-Prempeh leads the race to partner NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia into the 2024 presidential elections. Details as a National Intelligence Bureau report indicate he is the preferred candidate amongst the party's executives with a 76.2% approval rating. But what does he bring to the Bawumia ticket? Now, some patients with emergency cases at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital left stranded as a strike by the Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union paralyzes healthcare delivery in public hospitals across the country. The union is unhappy about the government's slow pace in negotiating conditions of service for its members and has vowed to keep the labs shut until a solution is found. Joy News' team of reporters have been monitoring the situation in hospitals across the country. Let's start from the capital, Accra, where members of our health desk have been touring the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, and the University of Ghana Medical Center.
The impact of the strike is so visible, even to the blind, as patients are unable to access laboratory services. The strike has had a particularly severe impact on Ghana's largest reference facility, the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, leaving many patients, including pregnant women, children with cancer, and those requiring urgent blood transfusions, stranded and without care. The maternity area of the hospital is crowded with expectant mothers, anxiously awaiting assistance.
I'm here to take a lab, but I hear that the lab technicians or the central lab is closed. They are on strike, so I'm not able to do the lab.
Why do you need the lab? Who asked you to do the lab?
It's the doctor who asked me to do the lab. So I'm supposed to see a doctor. So as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about how I have to wake up early in the morning and reach here before 6 o'clock and how to take care of my children as well. But if in case the lab is in a good condition like today, I'm supposed to take the scan. So I'm appealing to the authority, those that are in charge, to help them solve their issue so that we too can also be happy. Because in my condition, all the way from La Paz, New Market to this place, I'm pregnant and I'm tired. The walking, sitting in the car, the movement here and there is very difficult to reach here.
I'm here to see the doctor and she gave me some labs for me to bring them to her.
Okay.
But when I get to the laboratory, it has been closed.
Okay, so what did you come to see the doctor about?
It's about my health. They said my sugar level was too high, so they gave me a lab test to run.
And you are also pregnant?
Yes, please. I have to go to maybe the private lab to do that. But for them, I'm very, very tired, so I'm having some rest.
The children's unit, usually bustling with activity, is now deserted as children with cancer and sickle cell disease are turned away. The central laboratory, which functions as a crucial reference center for the entire Greater Accra region and beyond, is also non-operational.
All right, so this is the results collection section of the Central Laboratory Services. So on normal day, where patients come for their results, this is where they come. So they drop their receipt here for the client service secretary to attend to them. So they browse the web and print the results for them. So ordinarily day you come in, the whole place is choked with patients coming for their result that they've come to run previous days. So because of the strike, you can see nobody is here because the strike started on Monday. So ordinarily, the only result that will go out is maybe test that lingered on for like 4 days or 7 days. Because we've not been working from Monday, so you won't expect to see patients seated here for reports.
The Public Health Reference Laboratory, responsible for investigating disease outbreaks of major national concern, has shut its doors, potentially delaying critical public health responses. The situation is equally dire at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, where laboratories have closed, marked by red bands signaling the strike. Patients in need of lab investigations, including those with emergency cases, are being turned away, while some are forced to seek expensive services at private labs, which charge approximately 3 times the usual cost. Many with non-urgent conditions are postponing or abandoning their treatments altogether. At the University of Ghana Medical Center, the main laboratories have ceased operations, leaving only a small mini lab functional. This mini lab, primarily intended for patients already in recovery, is now inundated with new cases as stranded patients flock to it for assistance.
Things are moving on smoothly because apparently I came in yesterday and then I heard of the strike yesterday when I came in. There were lots of people here, so I got scared. So I went home and then someone told me that UGMC is handling things for me, so I should come in today. So I came in and as expected, I'm being taken care of as smoothly as even if the labs were in. So, yeah.
I was here around 6:30 exactly. I went to Cadro and then they sent me to the lab, the other one, and the main lab. They said they are on strike. So it took me about 3 hours to wait to get another lab here, which is different lab for the main lab itself. So I came and I'm waiting for the lab technician to come and attend to me. They are working all right. I think the main lab also, they are faster than...
The increased demand is placing tremendous pressure on the limited resources available, straining the facility's ability to provide adequate care.
That report was put together by our head of health desk here at Joy News, Fred Smith, and team members Kenneth Jesse and Semifak Pesu. We can now take you to the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital for Clinton Yeboah's report on the impact of the strike.
The Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union is on strike over lack of conditions of service. The industrial action is taking a toll on health service delivery. Offices offering laboratory services at the Mensah Government Hospital in Kumasi have been closed with red banners and the inscription "Strike Notice." Patients and their relatives are visibly distressed as they are hardest hit by the strike. This 81-year-old lady, whose daughter is undergoing a post-delivery treatment, is stranded in accessing lab services. My child is dying. I am begging you, government of Ghana. I am old. Where am I going to get money to access private facility? The situation is the same at the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital as OPD attendees are directed to private labs, but the patients complain of the high cost of accessing private lab services. The cost outside is expensive. They took 670 cedis, which ordinarily I wouldn't pay if I had the lab service here. So a subsidiary effect of the strike action is that other offices have been closed and not working. For example, the disease control units, who await results from the laboratory to act on, have also been left idle. And it's the same situation when you go to the maternity unit as well. The Ministry of Health has appealed to the striking lab workers to call off their strike and return to the negotiation table. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, Dr. Eric Kofi-Addo, told Joy News the role of laboratory scientists in hospitals has been undermined for a long time.
It is not a wish that we get to at this point. I mean, all of us have sisters, brothers, family people and all that. So in times like this, sometimes I feel that what if my mom is ill? What if my sister is ill or something? But you see, we wouldn't have wished that things got here. But it's unfortunate that we need to make things happen. You see, the medical lab scientists have been ignored for a very long time. The medical lab scientists play a very pivotal role in the healthcare delivery system. But you see, things have gone too way back, and we feel that 2 years since we started doing this.
Dr. Akufo-Addo is, however, hopeful of a positive response to their plea to resume servicing patients.
So, I mean, the minister and the Labour Commission should have intervened for us to, agreed on things and not get here. And we wish that things are not going this way. And we feel for the people that we render services to, but it's unfortunate. So we feel that we can still handle things as early as possible if the government intervene and then call us to the table. But these are petty allowances that we feel that we deserve, And so if the government take a critical look at it, I'm sure he should be able to agree to all the things that we've stated.
Reporting for Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabua.
Well, to the court now, where the Supreme Court has by a majority decision upheld an FDA directive that bars well-known personalities from endorsing alcoholic drinks in a lawsuit brought by CEO of Black Culture Music, Mark Darlington Osai, ending a highly publicized 19-month legal battle. Wednesday's ruling by the Supreme Court effectively means that well-known personalities or professionals are perpetually barred from appearing in advertisements that promote alcoholic drinks. Legal Affairs correspondent Latif Idrisu sat through the ruling and has more in the following report.
In a majority 5-2 decision read by the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonu here at the Supreme Court, she said that the directive by the Foods and Drugs Authority does not contravene Article 17.1 and 17.2 of the 1992 Constitution, as the plaintiff sought to put out when he petitioned the Apex Court. Speaking to journalists after the ruling, the representative of the Ghana Music Alliance who spoke to the journalists said this ruling by the Supreme Court would not stop them from continuing with their advocacy to get a win-win situation for the Music Association and the Foods and Drugs Authority.
The outcome was not to win or lose. The outcome was to have a better interpretation of what we can do and what we cannot do. And in this case, we still don't know what we cannot do or what we can do. So we'll definitely still go to FD and talk it out and see if we can have a better structure of what should be done or what can be done, what cannot be done. Personally, if there was a commercial advertising or advocating for kids to drink, that would not be good, or seeing it in a certain way. But if we can have any other means where we can safely work with the brands without really getting to the kids, that's also fine. So we can definitely sit down with the FDA and see how that can be done.
George Kwe, who is a radio show host, spoke to journalists after the ruling by the Supreme Court and said that the FDA is already losing the fight, and he expects them to call the celebrities together to sit down and have a dialogue on this particular matter and not be at war.
Really, here's a fight that the FDA is losing already. Because if I attend an event and it's being sponsored by, what did you win? If I sit on radio and I read an LPM, what did you do? You understand? And then they would say, you cannot put an alcoholic beverage billboard within 200 meters of a school. When I'm taking my kids to school, do we fly? Do we fly from my house to that school? Do you know the number of alcoholic beverage billboards that I'll see on the road? When we stop in traffic, do I know what my kids are reading? So did you win or lose? It's in the newspapers. My kids will read newspapers. So really, what did you gain? I think the FDA really need to, I think they're in some kind of a box. It would be good if they came out and let us sit, let us judge, and let us find a common ground. Because at the end of the day, they aren't the only ones who have kids. We have kids too, and we'd like to protect those kids as well.
On his part, Labaran Musa, who is the director of Program Vision for Alternative Development, said since the FDA's directive became enforced, the extent of exposure to alcoholic beverages has significantly reduced and public health is already winning.
Public health have won over, over interests of some few individuals and who are just, trying to amass wealth for themselves and not for the interests of the young people who are looking up to them for, for their interests. But when FDA have come with this law, we should applaud the FDA and then back them to do more to support public health.
Joseph Benny, who is Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs at the Foods and Drugs Authority, speaking with journalists, welcomed the ruling by the Supreme Court and said the authority will begin to take steps to plug all the loopholes that celebrities could maneuver to get away with endorsing alcoholic beverages.
If it's within the space of Ghana, yes, but we are dealing with it. It's not all, once in a while one of it filters through, but we are dealing with that. And very soon we'll have a clarity on that. With this very decision backing us, we'll very soon have a bit of clarity on that, because some DSC, they will claim that it is not coming from Ghana. But we know when we watch the World Cup, they never advertise.
To what limit?
So that is what will happen in Ghana as well. No matter where you are operating from, once you are airing within the space of Ghana, you cannot advertise alcohol using a celebrity or a well-known personality. So we'll tackle one at a time. So if we know that this is one source, we'll deal with it. If we get to know the other sources, we'll handle them as well.
The Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, only read the abridged version of the ruling and said that the full version of the ruling will be available come Friday, June 21, 2024. From the Supreme Court, Latif Idris reporting for Joy News.
With unexplained kidney failure and other health conditions surging in Ghana, it's crucial to watch what and where you eat. Data from the Food and Drugs Authority, based on World Health Organization's projections, reveals that unsafe food causes over 200 diseases, leading to loss of over 33 million healthy lives per year. There's more in the following report.
What you eat could be killing you silently. The latest Food and Drug Authority (FDA) data indicate that consuming unsafe food results in the loss of 33 million healthy life years annually. In a speech read on her behalf at an event to mark World Food Safety Day, Chief Executive Officer of FDA, Dr. Delise Mimidaku, revealed that over 200 diseases are linked to unsafe food each year. Her deputy, Roderick Dadieje, spoke on her behalf.
WHO estimated that 33 million years of healthy lives are lost due to eating unsafe food globally each year. And this number is likely an underestimation. Over 200 diseases are caused by eating food contaminated with bacteria, viruses, parasites, and chemical substances such as heavy metals. This growing public health problem causes considerable socio-economic impact through strains of healthcare systems, lost productivity, and harming tourism and trade.
He further cautioned the public to avoid buying food from unlicensed vendors as the FDA intensifies efforts to improve food quality and safety.
For you also making a choice to buy from a vendor who is selling next to the gutter, that horrible gutter, that thing that we keep saying that the best wache is sold by the gutter. If you didn't purchase it, they will not have service and therefore they will move away. One of the things that we are doing currently, for example, is we are pushing the issue of progressive licensing scheme. On the food vendor side too, we are working with the local government. It is a scheme that is already underway where we have officers every day, countrywide, going around. Number one, they are giving education, they are sensitizing the street food vendors. We are telling them that, number one, you need to have a health certificate. And this is where it also concerns the whole of Ghanaians. You must also ask them, do they have the health certificate, number one. Number two, when you also go there, check and see whether they've got what we call the street food vendor permit. The street food vendor permit is something that they are supposed to stick. It has got a QR code on it. Don't patronize food from those who don't have it. It means that we don't know where their food is coming from. And then some of them too, they take forever in trying to come up. They think that there will be the tolerance. So now we are driving people off the market to ensure that the right thing is done. That is why I say food safety is everybody's business. Don't patronize it if it has not got the street food vendor permit, as well as you also ask them where is their health certificate. If they cannot produce that to you, that person is there selling illegally.
Some food vendors at the event, however, believe the FDA should focus on intensifying its monitoring to improve the country's food safety rather than just issuing certificates.
It doesn't mean that it cannot be done. It is more than visible to do. But do they even have the manpower or the resources to make sure that every cocoa seller or every wache cooker or seller, they have the people to certify them, if I should put it that way? If they have those resources, then voila, we won't even have to look out for. You already know where to.
I don't think it ensures any form of safety at all, because unless they do their regular checks, we are still at high risk. Because sometimes when you go and you see how they even handle the food, the cough, the way they handle themselves is very unhygienic. So until FDA steps in, me as an individual, the most I can do is report the person or report them to emergency food safety, yada yada and so on.
This year's World Food Safety Day themed Food Safety, Prepare for the Unexpected also highlighted the devastating impact of unsafe food on children. For Joy News, Carlos Caloni, Accra.
Well, let's do some election headquarters stories now. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, the AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also by the German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental, Wellness and Beauty, Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation. Election headquarters for an informed electorate. Now, the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, is highly preferred as the best pair for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia going into the 2024 presidential elections. This, according to a National Intelligence Bureau report, is due to his popularity and strong connections with the grassroots of the party. Dr. Opoku-Prempeh, popularly known as Napo, secured a commanding majority of the polled executives with a significant majority of respondents, approximately 84%, seeing him as the ideal running mate for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia due to his charisma and popularity among party members. Joining us for a conversation on this is Professor Ali Dusaidi, who is head of the Political Science Department, University of Ghana. Prof, I'm grateful to you for joining us. Now, are these reasons? Now, they've said he is charismatic, he resonates well with the grassroots. We're asking, are these reasons, or do they point out what the ordinary electorate will be considering when deciding which ticket to vote for in the election? Prof, kindly unmute so we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much and good evening to your viewers. So I think the polls were conducted among executives of the MPP.
Yeah.
And even out of the executives, only a few, I think roughly 5,000 people were sampled. So that views doesn't represent even the collective majority of MPP supporters. That's okay. One. But also two, granted that that is true, he still has to be sold, packaged and sold to the entire Ghanaian population that will be voting. You know, there's a basis for this. Over the past couple of months, there have been this issue of who is going to partner His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. And his name has been part of the list that have been mentioned several times. I think a lot of media has discussed him. There have been a lot of people writing articles and explaining how he fits the bill. So basically, people can jump on this bandwagon to inform the kind of decision that they make when they are speaking to posters. So I do believe that this survey from the NIB could just be a scientific proof of anecdotal evidence that exists out there. But the idea is that, like I mentioned, it is just among the executives. Does he have that level of border appeal among the grassroots in the party? Even if he does he have the same level of border appeal among the Ghanaian population? There's a very serious, I think it pointed out in the survey that one of his serious challenges would be the issue of power crisis that we face.
Exactly.
And his reaction to Ghanaians' call for a timetable. You know, when you are selected as a running mate or a flag bearer, you are elected to solve the problems of the masses. So even where the masses complain and you don't even have the solution at the time, the way you even relate or speak to them speaks volumes of the kind of leader that you are going to be.
Yeah.
So basically, I think, I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible if the party, if the flag bearer presents him to either NEC or council of the party and they endorse him, there's still an opportunity for them to market him and to be able to sell him to the entire Ghanaian population.
Okay. Now, the other issue is, what other qualities must the party itself be looking out for in the individual they will choose to partner Dr. Bawumia?
So I think one of the running mate position is just a heartbeat away from the presidency if the ticket is eventually elected. So it suggests that you are not only going to elect somebody who has proven track record of experience in managing people, but also somebody that the flag bearer who will eventually become the president can work with. So when His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been doing this role, you often hear people say, oh, he's very humble, he's very respectful, he's down to earth. I don't think people have that same level of perception about the character of Napo when it comes to the issue of humility, relationship with the general masses of people. And definitely that will resonate and come out strongly if it's eventually confirmed. And I think maybe if it's our issue of managing the economy or even managing inflation, there's a tendency that government can push money into the system to be able to shore up the economy or shore up, reduce the high level of inflation. And then after elections, things may go back to normal. But character takes a lot of time to be able to unchain people's minds about that perception that they hold about that person. And we just have 6 months to the elections. So basically, yes, he's a good person. He has had track record, Minister for Education, Minister for Energy, MP. So he's been out there. People know him in the party. But does he have the same level of respect and appreciation and value among the entire Ghanaian population? How does he balance the ticket? He balanced the ticket in terms of ethnicity, in terms of region, in terms of religion, and all those things. And also for the fact that there have been a near consensus in the party that their running mate should come from Ashanti region. So he balanced the ticket in all this regard. But the issue is in terms of character and appeal to the Ghanaian population beyond the MPP as a party, will he be able to stand the test of time?
Prof, I'm grateful to you for joining us here for this conversation. Professor Alidu Seidu is the head of Political Science Department of the University of Ghana. This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break now. The Locked Up Investment Holders Forum is picketing the Finance Ministry for the 3rd consecutive week in demand for their locked up funds at NDK Finance and 3 other deposit-taking institutions. Now, the group's persistent request to meet either the Finance Minister or his deputy to express their demands have failed to materialize. Now, the group is demanding the Bank of Ghana and Finance Ministry declare as insolvent and revoke the licenses of NDK Financial Services, Bond Savings and Loans, SIC Life Savings and Loans, the SDC Financial Services, the 4 deposit-taking institutions that have failed to release their funds to them. The following report has more.
As has become the norm, every Wednesday, the Investment Holders Forum picket the Finance Ministry, and today being Wednesday was no exception. Well, they started from their usual point of NDK Finance, which is one of the institutions that owes them. They marched to the Finance Ministry, demanding that their funds be paid by the ministry. Listen to the lead convener of the group.
They must speak with the World Bank and the IMF to use part of the Financial Stability Fund to settle us. Well, if you want something and you are not getting it, you are disappointed. So once we haven't gotten what we want, we are disappointed, but we will still continue to fight until we get what we want. This is all that we have. This is the only weapon we have. Peaceful. Peaceful. Let your child be crying. If you are in the house, you haven't given the child money to eat, to go and buy something, and you start crying every day. You cry. You yourself, you realize that, hey, why? Are you not thinking about the child? You start thinking about the child and do something. We believe government will start thinking about what we are doing and do it. So we will continue to do that.
Well, other members of the group say they will continue to picket the Finance Ministry until their funds are finally released to them.
For you to invest with a company with the intention that, or with the encouragement that in future you are going to reap your investments and take care of yourself. And then at the end of the day, it's a different story altogether. It's very difficult, especially with this economy that we are in, because most people rely on their investments. You get it? So if they've invested and now the monies are not coming, how are they going to survive?
We were told somebody was selected to come and meet us at the gate. And we were told that all of them were around, the finance minister, the assistant, and his two deputies. So they told us they were in a meeting that day when we came, and that we should go. After the meeting, they will meet on our issue so that they'll give us the feedback. Up till date, we haven't heard anything from them. That is why we are back.
Are you hopeful you're going to hear from them today?
Oh, we'll by always hear from them. And today we'll ask the minister himself to come down to speak to us at the gate there. Nobody will be selected to go up again.
This is obviously not the last Wednesday they will be picketing the Finance Ministry. They have vowed to picket here every Wednesday and break on November and resume next year if they do not get their funds released to them by government. From the Finance Ministry, Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Now, road accidents contribute to the majority of trauma cases reported at the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. In 2023, about 1,984 trauma cases recorded at the facility were caused by road accidents, with an incident of tricycle and motorbikes leading the cases recorded. Deputy Medical Director Dr. Yao Opare-Labi says the hospital is taking the necessary steps to improve knowledge of its staff to deal with the cases. Nana Yao Jima has more in the following report.
35% of the 5,671 cases of trauma recorded at the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital last year are from road accidents. The statistics further revealed 7 out of the 10 trauma cases are accidents from tricycles. In the year under review, Ashanti region recorded the second highest road accidents in the country. Since the teaching hospital is a referral center for about 12 regions in the country, the trauma cases have heightened. Deputy Medical Director Dr. Labi explains the hospital is sometimes burdened by the number of cases recorded.
When the trauma patient comes, as I said, it's not only the trauma orthopedic surgeon, it's not only bones that they have to treat. There's soft tissue injury. When we say soft tissue, like the muscles, the skin, the tendons, right? Sometimes someone has an injury to the chest. The cardiothoracic surgeon has to come in. Someone has an injury to the head. The neurosurgeon has to come in. So sometimes on one patient, you may have several disciplines. And when the patient is recovering, you need the rehabilitation team, the physiotherapy team have to come in. Sometimes you need someone may have lost a limb. You need someone they need psychological counseling.
The revelation was made at a conference on making Cath a center of excellence in orthopedics, trauma training and research. In dealing with the complex cases reported to the hospital, the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital is deepening its partnership with the Hospital for Special Surgery in the United States of America. Through this partnership, healthcare professionals at the teaching hospital have often received training to improve on existing knowledge. Dr. Labi reviews plans to commence a subspecialty to improve services rendered in the area.
When we say subspecialty, it means that you are even specializing further to improve upon the care that you give to patients in the trauma orthopedic area. So we are starting a subspecialty next year, but you can't start the subspecialty without getting the license and accreditation from the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, who eventually will award the certificates when the surgeons are done training.
Meanwhile, the officials of the Hospital for Special Surgery have underscored the need for the collaboration, noting the relevance in providing modern tools for the surgeons in the country.
Well, what we're trying to give them is a shift towards how we train that subspecialty work and get them instruments and implants and infrastructure that they don't currently have so that they could do work at the same level that we do in North America or in Europe. And I can tell you, having worked with the surgeons for the last 2 years, that won't be a problem at all. Some of the people here are the finest surgeons I've ever seen. All they lack is resources and some specific subspecialty training that they have not gotten here.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Now, Ghanaian journalist and diplomat Cabral Blay-Amihe has charged the Ghana Journalists Association to work towards preserving the autonomy of the media from the influence of government and other interest groups. Addressing the first public lecture to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the GJ in Kumasi, Ambassador Cabral Blay-Amihe stressed the importance of insulating journalists and their respective organizations from undue political influence and external pressures. Stressing on the need to protect journalists, he urged the GJA to focus on maintaining media independence from external influence. There's more in the following report.
The former GJA president acknowledged the strides made in enhancing freedom of speech and expression across various platforms since the advent of democracy in Ghana. Cabral Blay-Amihe, however, cautioned against complacency and called upon stakeholders to remain vigilant in protecting this hard-won rights.
In the last 32 years since the restoration of democracy, the media on the whole has managed to hold successive governments accountable and kept our democracy steady. In the first parliament of the Fourth Republic, which was dominated by one party, the NDC, with a single independent candidate, the late Honorable Hawa Ogede Yakubu, as a result of the boycott by the MPP, it took the critical and vigilant role of private newspapers to hold the parliament and government in check. That was the period when Kofi Commission and the Chronicle conducted aggressive and robust investigative journalism, which in today's era has been taken to greater heights by Manasseh Azuri Manasseh and Onsang Emmanuel Dobevi and other fine journalists.
Now, students and management of Lasia Tolu SHS are blaming their loss in the National Science and Maths Quiz qualifiers to the conflict between two communities in the area, which has killed at least 3 persons. The students say the communal unrest, coupled with other infrastructural deficit, is heavily impacting academic activities. Despite their spirited performance to book a slot at the Nationals, the school came second behind the WA SHS in the Upper West Regional qualifiers. They are imploring feuding factions in the community to cease fire as they call on the government to increase security surveillance in the area. Emmanuel Bright Kweku caught up with the students and teachers after their heated contest with the YSHS and 3 others.
Lasia Tolu SHS actually gave YSHS a good run for their money. And unfortunately, they couldn't make it to the Nationals. But their impressive performance is what has been the talk of town. But I want to find out from you as students, how do you feel?
Actually kept in our best, we put in our best, just that our best was not enough. And though we've been able to showcase the whole world how we prepared adequately, it's happened that we met even tougher people. So next time we'll prepare well. And The reason for our performance, though we are not as accelerated as we would have wanted to be, but our dining hall got bent, so we can say we're not eating proper food. Yes, and just 2 days ago, the very community where our school is located, there was a conflict between two communities, so we couldn't even go out. Even as we were coming, we were a little bit scared. We had to be praying that God should bring us and send us back safely.
The conflict that is happening in your area, how is that impacting your academic activities?
Okay, we have not been going to class because of the Eid break actually, but the few of us who were left in school to prepare for the quiz were still going to class. But when the conflict started, we were confined in our hostels. You can't go to class, and we have few, should I say, laptops where we study from. We can't take them to the dormitory since we don't have electric cables there to plug and use them. And so all of those things kept us from our resources. We're not learning for about 3 days. We're just doing internal studies. All of these things affected us. We can say our step was not going through that. And so if we've been able to give them 36 to 39, 34 to 39, we are proud of ourselves.
And I'm proud of them. We pray that government and authorities are able to solve this situation for them. This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a break. We'll be back with Showbiz. Please do stay. All right, welcome back to the show. Let's do showbiz now because the queen of the industry is here in all her glory. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
So the news is that celebrities can only endorse Sobolo, the Fantas, name them. The ice cream and
coconut drink.
Coconut drink and all of that. They cannot endorse any alcoholic beverages. And so that's the news. But let's talk about Mark Darlington Osei. So the plaintiff in the case against the Food and Drugs Board Authority, which sought the annulment of the ban of the promotion of alcoholic beverages by celebrities, has expressed his disappointment in the verdict. The Supreme Court, by a majority decision, upheld the Food and Drugs Board Authority directive, which prevents well-known persons or public figures from endorsing alcoholic drinks on Wednesday, June 19, 2024. This brings an end to a highly publicized 19-month legal suit filed against the authority by Mark Darlington Osei, a Ghanaian music executive and publisher based in the United Kingdom. This means that well-known personalities or professionals are perpetually banned from appearing in advertisements that promote alcoholic drinks. Here is Mark Darlington.
Yes, obviously very disappointed with the ruling from the Supreme Court, which went 5-2 against us. Two of the judges went in our favor, and 5 went in the favor of the FDA. It is disappointing, but it is what it is. You go to court, there are 2 possible outcomes. You either win or you lose. But obviously, we still believe that that directive is discriminatory. If you would ban everyone from advertising, local, foreign, not just one group of people, because if we are trying to achieve the aim of, in FDA's words, protect the young ones from alcohol, then why don't you ban for everyone? Blanket ban, or lift it and put in much more stringent.
Mark Darlington right there. Now, Ghanaian musician Atongo Zimba has shared his thoughts on what can be done to promote and preserve Ghanaian culture. In a recent interview on E-Vibes, he noted that although Ghana has rich culture, unnecessary competition has robbed the country of its fortunes.
Collaboration is a very good thing to do, but the kind of music that I did a collaboration with Manifest,
okay,
with Heavy Nobia.
Yeah.
We did one song to remix, and it was quite good.
Yeah.
But unless they are ready to go in the way I want to go, it's too complicated for me to go and do singing. I respect each one singing.
Right.
I respect each energy of singing. It's very bad to say this man is not doing well or you are doing better, because music in the ending, the choice is from the people.
Right.
So as we said, you see, when we went there, he was playing Satawali, and he said he wanted me to do something like Satawali. That is her own opinion.
Right.
So if you condemn Satawali, then you are condemning people's opinions. If you condemn Stoneboy, you are condemning people's opinion. If you condemn what they call it, this guy who used to sing, they used to condemn him that, oh, what they call it, Sarkodie. A lot of people condemn Sarkodie, but look at Nigerians, what they are using Sarkodie energy to go up and up. That is our issue in Africa, mostly in Ghana. Our life came from Ghana, Nigerians came and took it and go viral. Everything that we get, we keep on condemning. When somebody is climbing coconut, we keep on complaining, so the coconut is always there and nobody can get it. This is our problem. So I think these issues and attitudes should change, so we can build our mother Ghana to the highest level. Let everybody doing things, stick with what you are doing, focus and stop criticizing. As I said, when the Lord gets you ready, you will go. So stop criticizing. People used to criticize me too, because I play on the street. Because I was a strong guy. When I was young, I was very strong. And people thought I could lift things up. Why am I supposed to carry kaya like everybody come to do? So that's how we imagine. And you see Ghana here, it's normal happening. When you open a small bar here, another 2 weeks, you see somebody coming to build a bar there. If you sell watches, somebody will come, he will not think, oh, let me also do something
different,
so that we can all get, but they will come and do exactly what you are doing. You know? They will come and do exactly what we are doing. So in the ending, we are not moving forward. We like to compete. You understand what I mean? Yeah. We don't think about, if you do this, let me do this so that we can build up a team. You know, so that's what I'm trying to talk about.
Right. Atongo Zimba right there. Yeah. And that ends the news for this evening. Please log on to myjournline.com for all your credible news, because we're the credible news source. Joy News.
All right. Up next is Pius Kojo Bakawe Prime Business. Thanks for watching. Good evening.
Bye.
Up next like that.